Hello everyone, and thank you for visiting my channel and watching this video. This is gonna be my WIP N Chat number 3. I don't think I'm gonna keep track of how many I have, but right now since it's small and only have 2 subscribers, I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing that or not. So I hope your day's doing well. What's this? Sorry, I had some cookies fall over my stuff a little bit over the weekend. Or I shouldn't say weekend. These last couple of days while I was editing the videos. I hope you liked my videos. The first video I did was a simple Microsoft software program that I didn't realize they still kind of had, but honestly I don't really, I mean, it's nice for like quick simple videos, if you don't want really a lot of details, or OCD about how you make your videos like I am. Yeah, it's probably better for that situation if you're okay with like not having to deal with a lot of imperfections. I didn't realize I was kind of OCD on the actually, like, when it comes to the actual like audio aspect. I like to be creative, and so I try to make my intros and endings very creative. I know it's not a lot, but I'm still kind of learning how to use software, editing software. I'm self-teaching myself. And on the second WIP N Chat, I actually downloaded a free software. Well, it's not really free, it's a free trial version. I plan to get, when I get some money. I kind of like it. I still have to play around with it, but it's a pretty good software for people like me who are like just wanting to do YouTube videos, not for any personal gain whatsoever. You know what I mean by that? I mean, like, we're not seeking money from YouTube whatsoever. I'm just creating these movies for my personal health, and yeah, so I doubt it I'll ever get to, like, I didn't realize this, but on YouTube, like, obviously there has to be a certain number you have to reach before you start making money. But I didn't realize that number was so high. So, and I don't anticipate to ever get that high. Excuse me, I'm gonna get something to drink real quickly. Sorry about that. And so I don't really care. I just care if I would really just like create a more fan base than anything. I'm not really making these videos. I'm not expecting to make this my full-time job, because I already have a full-time job. And so yeah, if you know people that like diamond painting or want to spread the word about this, or just know somebody that would like to have someone to talk to them, share this video with them, tell them to subscribe, leave me questions. Just thinking of, like, I could be totally one of those newsletter tutorials where people send in their problems and just give them my advice and everything, but on YouTube form. If there is interest in that, I may create an email account, so people can submit situations and I can give them my advice through my experience and everything. I apologize if it kind of looks awkward when I'm doing, because the stand is right next to my head, so I kind of have to move around the stand. to record it, not to record, to do the diamond painting. If you're watching this video for the first time, I have made a couple other videos. I recommend you watching those first. That's if you want to. If not, welcome. I hope you enjoy. Just a quick, brief intro. I am new to this still. And so I am not doing this for any personal gain. I'm doing this because of my depression. I am can't say quite lonely. My depression is really hard to deal with right now, even with medications. And, and not having a social life, when I mean a social life, I know that the COVID situation hasn't made it easy, excuse me, hasn't made it any easier for anybody, but I think people with depression are probably hit the hardest, in my personal opinion, because they have to suffer with the isolation, or social distancing. And I love how my boss put it when it started happening, when we were required to quote unquote social distance. He doesn't say, he goes like, I don't social distancing, because that's not true. He goes, social distancing is like Facebook and not talking to people and everything. He goes, we can't do that. He goes, we need to physically distance ourselves. So instead of calling it, instead of calling it quote social distancing, he calls it physical distancing, which reality that's what it is. We don't need to social ourselves. We need to physically distance ourselves, and that actually has a huge impact, I think, psychologically, with how we perceive things. Because if people say, "Oh, I need to social distance," that means like I need to keep away from people. In which reality, we don't need to keep away from people. We just need to keep our distance from people. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to go into COVID or politics or anything like that. Excuse me. I get something to drink. I tend to have a dry mouth when I start talking a lot. In fact, just give me 1 second. Okay. Except for that, I had to just go to the faucet and get some more water in my cup. So, I'm just going to leave it at that. I just hope you're okay. And that everything's going good. If not, just look at the bright side. I mean, always try to find the sunshine in the storm, or the rainbow in the storm. Because there's always a rainbow, there's always sunlight at the end of the storm. And you're not alone when stuff happens, so yeah, I just hope that you are. If you're not doing well, please let me know. I'd gladly like to talk to you. Either one-on-one or through video, like I'm doing right now. I won't mention your name. I can probably use your YouTube username, or you can remain anonymous, however you like. I apologize if my hair or head starts sticking out in the camera. I just again have to adjust how I'm diamond painting with my head because of the pole. Let's see what's happening. Nothing really exciting has happened in my life right now. Of course, nothing really does it ever really happen exciting in my life. Let's see, what can we talk about? Let's talk about music. I like music. At first, when Pandora came out, I wasn't a really big fan of it. Simply because I didn't know what it was. I felt like it was just like a just a kind of like I can't say it's stupid radio, like I don't know. I just never understood the point of it. And I apologize if I'm coughing a lot. I'm not really coughing. It's just I just took my medications, and sometimes it causes me to have a dry mouth. Um, and so I saw an advertised for Pandora. I'm not being paid by Pandora to do this video whatsoever. Um, and I like to listen to different kinds of music. In fact, actually, how it started was actually at work when I had to select music to play in our lobby. And it was a Sunday, and I was like, you know what? Let's just play some really calming, relaxing, chill music. So I typed in relaxing, and it popped up relaxing through Pandora. And so I started doing that. So I clicked on that, and while I was on my break, I was listening to the music, and I was like, hey, I know this song. And what was weird, it was completely string instrument song. Like, I knew the song, but it was done through just string instruments. There was no vocal. And I totally enjoyed it. And I was like, oh, this is nice. And so I downloaded Pandora, and that's where I kind of got a free trial with them. So I'm doing my free trial with them, which is nice. I like it so far. It's kind of introduced a lot of new music artists, or I should say artists in my like genre of music. I like a lot, and all the songs I listen to are really kind of like songs that everyone knows, and the artist who does it and the groups that do these just do beautiful work, and it's just love them. And if you hear any music in the background, that's Pandora. Again, I like to listen to music while down paint. Some people listen to audiobooks, people listen to movies. Some people, like you, watch this video while doing whatever you're doing. Either painting, diamond painting, cross-stitching, sewing, or just like need some background noise while you're cleaning, or taking a shower, or taking a bath, having a good time. Just need to listen to somebody else besides your voice in your head. Yeah, that's the point of these videos. Is you're helping me with my depression and making me feel like I actually can't say wanted, but makes me feel good that I know that people who are watching my videos, I know that I'm not alone. Like, there's people out there that are complete strangers. Some of them I know because they're family or friends, or co-workers. But honestly, I think the majority of my audience is going to be for total strangers. And we may not know each other right now, but I hope that changes over time. Feel free to leave comments, questions, concerns, ways to improve my videos, suggestions on what videos I should do next. Most likely it's going to be diamond painting, but like subjects like movies, music, work, personal life. When it comes to personal life, I'm not going to give you a lot of information, but if there's certain things like you want to know about me, like where I was born, like I can't say I was born, but like where I grew up, what hobbies, struggles I faced as a kid, etc., I'm willing to open and talk to you guys. Sorry about the camera shaking. I accidentally hit the pole. So yeah, skipping around, I apologize. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm working on diamond painting called Love at Its Darkest by Mandy Manzona. Finally pronounced her name correctly this last in the last video. Oops, sorry. This one I like to make. I like to make stuff for people. It sounds kind of weird, but I do. I like making things. I like to make things and then give them away to people. It's something that I always have enjoyed, even as a kid. I would say kind of, yeah, as a kid. I would say more like my preteens. When I was a kid, I loved games. Like board games were my passion. I loved board games. And that's all I really wanted for Christmas was like kind of like board games. Or toys that were very interactive. Some of my favorite games as a kid I liked playing was Loop and Louie. If you want to, sorry if I make you feel old. And if you remember that game, that was like a fun, weird game. I actually found it on eBay and bought it. It was missing it had everything, strike that. It had everything except for one little chicken. And the point of the game was to basically be the last person with all your chickens. And it was really fun because how it worked was that you had it was a motorized game, and there were 4 players, and each player had like a little chicken coop or a barn. I would say it's more of a barn, I think, come to think of it now. And you had 4 chickens, and they were on little discs, little plastic blue discs. Or actually, I think they were blue. I think they may have been colored differently for each player. But when you turned on the motor, it was like, imagine like a circle, and each player had their own little chute in a barn, and in the middle was Louie, the Loop and Louie, the airplane, and there was a person in the airplane. But when the motor started, it would start turning, and then the plane would fall down, and it'd kind of go level in a circle, and would knock chickens off your barn. And you had to time it right so you would hit your little paddle, and it would kind of shoot Louie up into the air and over your barn and into the player's barn area. And it was fun. As a kid, like, I bought it, I started playing it, and it was like, oh my gosh, how stupid was this game? But it brought back a lot of nostalgic memories. Another game I really enjoyed, and I don't remember it, but it was a spider game. And it was really cool because on the base was like a web, and you were flies, and you had to escape. And I think you started in the middle, and you had to go outwards. And the spider was in a string. It was like a crescent moon stand, and then on the top was a spider with a string. And it was more like a click and random drop game where every player took a turn to turn it, and the spider was sometimes fake drop to scare you, and on its legs were Velcro, and your piece had like Velcro tops. So if the spider went down and grabbed you and pulled you back up, you were out of the game. So that was one game I really enjoyed playing. And I still to this day collect games, a little bit more age appropriate games, but there are still games like I like. Um, I have that are very nostalgic, like Payday. Was a nostalgic game I have still. I found brand new, which I'm surprised they still sell because that game is really old. And it's a fun game to play for kids because it talks about like how life is, but still being fun. Which reminds me, another game I really enjoyed was the Game of Life, the old, like the classic version, not this new version where it's simplified. Simplified. Um, and yeah, and so yeah, that's kind of me as a kid. I also like crafts as a kid. Like um, I got, oh man, what was it called? Doctor Dreadful's chemistry kit or something like that. But it was like edible food you make using these. The designs were these creepy, crawly like concoctions and everything, but it was totally edible. And there's a person on YouTube that does something like that. He goes and buys nostalgic old games and toys and show you how they work and if they still work. And yeah, and so it was really cool to see he actually does one of those. So yeah, let's see what else we can talk about. I know we were talking about music. Oh, I guess we can go back to music before I got sidetracked. You may notice I get like sidetracked so many times. And so with Pandora, I really like them. And the art, like there's one artist, or I actually can't say artist, this group, this duo that I really, really enjoy. It's called the Brooklyn Duo. These couple play the piano and cello. One plays the cello, one plays the piano, and they make such beautiful renditions of music. It's just so pretty. And so I recommend looking them up. Support them, buying their music. What else? See where I live. I live in Utah, if you don't know that already. I'm not native to Utah. I'm from California. The weather been here has been relatively nice. We've been having a very mild winter. Last week we actually had like a snowstorm. What is? Okay, sorry, my eyes were messing with me. I looked like I had a little plastic M in my beads, my drills. Yeah, it's been relatively a mild winter. Nothing exciting has happened. I mean, it was nice to get some snow, but it was really kind of out of place for being so late in the season. Usually by now, we kind of get snow, but it's more sporadic and it stays on the ground. It's been really warm where it snows for like a couple of days, maybe a day or two, heavily, and then by end of the week, it's gone or almost gone, so it doesn't look like snowed at all. It reminds me of the winters back home in California where it would be cold, but it would never like snow. Well, because in California, it never, like, where I live, it snowed maybe 3 times when I was growing up. And those were awesome days. I mean, it's noted like in the sense of like it was like probably about with one of these like diamond drills, like it like. Let's see if I can get it in there. See how like thick that is? It's not very. I'm trying to think where the camera is. Right here. They're not very thick. Probably that, maybe a little bit thicker. I mean, it's probably thicker than that, but it wasn't enough to like cause any damage or people freaking out. I mean, school still went on. It was just exciting to have people like freak out, like, oh my god, what are we gonna do now? It's not. Or like, by the end of the day, it will be gone. If I pause, it's just I'm just looking at the artist and the band. So yeah. I'm gonna do my best to keep these videos short. Probably anywhere from a half hour, probably about 45 minutes. I don't want them too long, but I'm surprised how fast time flies with when I'm recording these. So what I'm probably gonna do is record one long session. Well, not record one long session, but record back-to-back sessions. Like I'll at the end of this one, I'll stop. I'll say my goodbyes, say my thank yous, the normal spiel, and then stop the recording, and then get some more water, kind of like get up, stretch a little bit, walk around, and then continue recording because it's my day off, and I'll be doing my recordings on my day off when I'm in the mood, which is most of the time. I just want to vegetate on my days off, and then spend the next couple days editing them, and hopefully have them posted up by Saturday the latest. But realizing editing takes such a long time because I'm OCD when it comes to editing these videos. Like I want everything perfect and spot on. I didn't realize I was so OCD until I started recording these videos. Yeah. Let's see. Let's talk about movies. I am a horror, and I gotta correct people on this because I often tell them incorrectly. I'm a supernatural horror person. In other words, I enjoy supernatural horror movies like The Shining, Stephen King's It, just praying for it, The Conjuring, Annabelle. And I like those movies. A lot of people are like, oh, that Annabelle series, Conjuring universe sucks and everything. I'm like, well, first of all, you're not me, so goodbye. Two, my advice is don't let other people tell you how a movie is unless you really want their advice and trust them strongly. Most of these movie critics are complete strangers. There's like fruit critics. Oh, which reminds me, I'm a chef. I actually have a culinary degree. I went to culinary school back home in California, 3 years. I went and got a degree in culinary arts, and then a minor in baking and pastries. And give me 1 second. I just don't like fruit critics. Fruit critics are the stupidest. Same thing with film critics. They are the stupidest people ever. Same thing with fashion critics. It's like, and I don't follow fashion very well. If you saw my wardrobe, you'd probably freak out, to be honest. It's like very boring, very plain. Being a gay person, it's most people, I would say most gay guys have a good sense of fashion. In other words, they know what goes well with what, not necessarily what kind of designer, just like overall, oh, like this looks really good on slim people. This is what people tend to do. And honestly, I don't have that. It's really weird. I don't have that fashion for me. You know how people are like tone deaf? I'm kind of like fashion tone deaf for myself. But when it comes to other people, I feel like I have a good sense of, oh, that person would look very nice in that. Or no, that doesn't look very good. I don't know why. Just how I am, I guess. And two, I'm not willing to fork over $80 for a pair of jeans that have rips in them and look like they're 80 years old. When I can just buy a pair of jeans and like do it myself. And so, where I was going with this fashion. I can't remember now where I was going with this. I brain farted. It's gonna come back to me when I'm like in the next video or something. I'm like, oh, that's right. That's where I was going with this. Dang it! How to do what? Why did I say fashion? Sense. It wasn't about looks. Oh man, that's gonna really bug the crap out of me now since I can't remember it. You ever had that problem where you start thinking about one thing and all of a sudden you're like, why am I talking about this? Where was this going? Yeah, that happened to me right now. And usually what happens is I will start backtracking the conversation I have with somebody. I'm like, why are we talking about this? Like, how did we get to this subject? And I literally will feel like go back and verbally say the subjects we were talking about. So like we were talking about fashion. Okay, why we were talking about fashion, and that's where the part I can't remember. Okay, I'm starting to remember now. Hold on one second. I see a drill kind of coming out. There we go. How to do with my clothes. Oh god, I just can't forget about it now. What I'm probably gonna have to do is like when I edit this video and remember I'm gonna talk about it in the next video. But you know what? It's gonna bug the crap out of me. Okay, let's just move on. Nostalgic games we talked about. Movies. Oh, okay. I think I remember now. Movies. We're talking about the Annabelle Conjuring universe on people, and then that led to the critics and fashion design. Okay, there you go. So this is what I was talking about earlier. How I backtrack my conversations. We ended like when I brain farted. It was like fashion designers. Like why are we talking about fashion and everything? That led to fashion and designers, which was before. Kind of like going backwards. So it's fashion designer, and then talking about the fashion critics. Sorry about the camera. And then movie critics and food critics. Talking about I went to culinary school. Why I hate critics. Talking about movies. There we go. Whew. Oh man. Sorry about that. Movie critics. I don't like movie critics. I don't like food critics because basically all you're doing, and I'm sorry if you're a food critic or a movie critic, there's a difference between a reviewer and a critic. I think they're almost identical, except that critics are probably more recognized worldwide than reviewers are. Like a critic would be Ebert, Siskel and Ebert. I think that was the name of the two before one of them passed away. Those would be movie critics. Somebody that gets paid big bucks to say their frickin' opinion about something. I mean, honestly, I don't care if you went to film school or all that crap. I don't care if you went to culinary school to be a food critic. It really comes down to what you like. And there's a lot of criticism with the Conjuring universe and the Annabelle and all that stuff. And honestly, it's like, if you like the movie, good. If you don't, okay. Like an example, it was like, what was it? Insidious was a movie that came out. I watched, and honestly, I had a hard time getting into it. I was like, okay, what's the point? Okay. And at the end, I was like, oh, this is kind of a stupid movie. Same thing with Paranormal Activity. That series just was just weird. I like, huh? And when I mean huh, I mean like, when you do sequels, usually you're going forward, unless you're doing prequels, in which that's kind of what's happening in the Paranormal Activity, if I remember correctly. If I'm wrong, please let me know. I apologize if I'm said it wrong, but it seems like you're going backwards in the Paranormal Activity to where all it began, to where it kind of leads up to... No, I think it actually kind of goes back and forth. Because I remember watching on YouTube somebody explaining like the entire universe or the timeline, and it seems like the first one happens, and then you jump to the second one, which is kind of like a prequel, and the third one kind of jumps back into the present, but later on, and it's like it gets confusing. And I'm not a big fan of those kind of like supernatural horror movies because it follows. It's like the Blair Witch Project. It's like done through second person viewpoint. In other words, you're seeing everything through their eyes almost, but through a camera. And Blair Witch Project, okay? I remember when that came out. I'm sorry if I make you feel old. But that movie, I remember when it came out, all the jive about it, like, oh, it was so scary that this was the best horror movie because it was low budget and everything, and they deserve Oscars and all this stuff, and it just and when I actually saw it for the first time was on TV, on HBO or something like that. No, I think it was HBO. I think it might have been Stars. I can't remember. I remember Dad sit down and watching it. And one of the things I've heard was that people got motion sickness from this thing. And I could see why. That camera moved so many times, it was ridiculous. I nearly got motion sickness. I was like, holy cow, can people not just keep that camera still for a minute? And it was the most stupidest movie ever. I'm sorry if you're a Blair Witch Project fan. But to be quite honest, that movie was just, it was like, what? I'm like, this was like, what, like, you serious? These people who said it was like the best horror movie must have been on drugs or something or drunk, because I'm sorry, I couldn't get scared off that movie. Shoot, man, I was watching my brother play Silent Hill on PlayStation when that came out, and that shit was scary. That was really scary. My brother even refused to play it at night unless somebody was in the room with him. And I don't blame him. When I was growing up, we had a two-car garage that was, those garage doors were big. And our refrigerator had broken down, so we had to use a spare fridge in the garage. And at night, it was really kind of creepy because there was a window with bars on it in the garage that looked into our backyard. And our backyard was pretty big. And there were a couple of mulberry trees. And when it was windy, you could hear the branches creak, rub against each other. And when you turn on the garage light, it creates like a one-way mirror effect in that window with bars. And we couldn't turn on the porch lights in the back because it would affect the turn on the lights in the patio area of our porch. And there were bedrooms. It was my sister's and my parents' bedroom. Right next to those windows. So when we turn on the light would beam. Even though with lines or shades, it would still shine through. And so at night, my brother didn't want to wake them up, so he would turn them off, and I would sometimes not even have them on when I would go up there. And it'd be the creepiest thing. I mean, like, I would freak out. Like, I was afraid, like, there was Freddy Krueger or something back over there waiting to, like, just jump through that window and just kill me and everything. Even though I knew there was no, like, they don't exist, it still would creep me out. Yeah. So, I don't care for those movies whatsoever. I think they're stupid. I think they get overrated viewings. There are some movies that I really enjoy, which people say suck. And I think that's just their viewpoint. It's their opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I'm not going to pay somebody to say, oh, this movie is good, so that people listen to me. I think also, reason I don't like critics is because I think it feeds their ego. Like, they gotta have, like, that sense of, oh, popularity, that's the word. They want to be popular. And they were never popular at some point in their life through high school or something, or elementary school, or middle school. And now people are listening to them and gotta have their, like, ego fix and listen. And I partly say that because the film critics back home in the newspaper would always rate family good movies as poor ratings. Poor ratings. Like, he would grade them on like a well, I don't know what you can call them, like a graded scale, like A, B, C, D, F. He'd always give family movies D's, C's, mostly C's and D's. when it had horror, blood and guts, anything that was, if it was rated R, you know why it was rated R. He would give it an A or B. Yeah, rarely did this critic ever do it for family films. And I only say that because I saw a pattern in there. Apologies. Get something to drink. And I noticed that whenever a family movie came out or a very good movie came out, he wouldn't really rate it, saying it was boring and all this stuff. And it's like, what do you expect? It's a family. It's meant for kids. When you're a critic, you have to have an open mind. You have to think about the field that you're going to watch this movie in. Is it good for families? Yes or no? Does it offer plenty of cute little things that would make kids interested in the movie? Is he explain the movie? Is it easy to explain the movie to a kid? And same thing with food critics. It's like, you go in a restaurant, like, you go there to eat food, and, not to criticize their food. Which is why I don't like food critics. That was a fast 46 minutes. So I think I'm gonna end the video, this part of the video, this WIP N Chat right now. I am gonna make the next one soon, probably right after this. I'm gonna get my more something to drink in here, get more set up and ready. If you have any questions, comments, please put them down there. I'm always up for suggestions. And if you like the video, please hit the like button. And if you like to watch the videos I make, please hit that subscribe button. Again, I'm not making these videos for money whatsoever. I'm just doing it for my personal health. So, so hopefully, if you know people that like this stuff or just need some companionship, please tell them to look at my videos, subscribe, because I'm always willing to listen and talk to them. When I say listen, I mean like in emails and comments below. I'm always willing to be there for people that just have a hard time, because I know what depression feels like. So, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Morning, evening, afternoon, depending on what time you watch this. I know I said that out of order, but does that matter? No. And be good. Be awesome. Make the right choices. Yeah. So I will leave it at that, and I'll say goodbye to you guys. Okay, and I'll see you in the next video. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.